Action, October the 26th, 2022. This is our Creators Club log from the present moment into the future. Welcome, everybody. Today's sermon, I think it'll be short and sweet, just about the illusion of a top of the mountain. We think there's a top of the mountain, but really what we are doing is we are hiking through an entire mountain range. So we might be creating one product, which feels like a mountain while we're creating the product, whether it's our library, whether it is a practice, a workshop, whatever it might be, whatever we're building, that's the top of the mountain. But then we get to the top of the mountain, we get this exciting vista. We look out and we're like, oh, we made it, hooray. But then you turn around and you realize that there's another mountain right behind you, and that mountain's called marketing. And then once we climb up that mountain, and we're like, oh, we're doing it. We're getting people, they're signing up and all the things. But then we get to the top of that, and there's another mountain. It might be improving the product, might be expanding the product suite. It might be partnerships. It might be building an entire new company. It's the never-ending story playing out in our lives. And so this is why, I wish my 20-year-old self, when I was starting out in the early days, would have just had the wisdom to know this. But this is why it's important to pace ourselves. This is why it's important to not burn ourselves out. This is why it's important to, really take the approach of just doing what inspires us. And not just doing what inspires us for the sake of doing what inspires us. We are trying to build a business. So it's important to understand what is the model of the business that we're going to be building here, but to do the activities that do inspire us. Because I tell you, right now with Magic Kids, that project inspires the crap out of me. I love it. And at the same time, there's so many moving parts, so much communication that I have to filter through on the day-to-day basis and week-to-week basis as I'm managing all of these different moving parts. And it could make me go crazy, but at the same time, I'm just like, this is the mountain right now. The mountain is tending to this as it grows, as it goes from a baby to a toddler to adolescent to a teenager to wherever it grows beyond here. And all of us are on these same journeys, climbing our mountain. And so one of the really important pieces when we're going on these expeditions is to surround ourselves with people that we trust, people that we value, people who have unique perspectives that can see things differently than what we do. It's important to have some mountain guides that can guide you up the mountain so that you can ask questions, so that if you run short of oxygen, you can ask for some help. So these are really important things. And so, those of you here in the Creators Club, this is we're your mountain guides, and you are the expeditioners who are climbing your mountain. And so some of the questions are like, what is it that you're really trying to do? And we've talked about this a few weeks ago. What is the support that you really need to help you kind of get the cogs going? And what do you feel in your conditioning, your physical condition for climbing the mountain, or your technical condition for actually creating products and websites and landing pages and all the things? What are the pieces of conditioning that you need support with that may not be your strong suits, so that you can either ask for the specific support that you need to find the answers you're looking for, or to find the people that can be on your team to fight in your corner to help you get to the top of this particular mountain. And again, this isn't a rush. And so that's the wonderful thing is you've got your whole future in front of you. Obviously, we want to get things done quickly, effectively, efficiently, beautifully, powerfully. We want them out the door, and we don't have to sacrifice our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health in order to do that. I did that for years, and then you get burnt out, and then you can't do anything. I've seen so many people come through this, build their own products and courses, and they put every ounce of their soul they have into something. They finish the launch, and then they don't have the energy to either continue to grow up beyond that moment or to be able to serve the people that signed up for the thing, because they poured everything into actually building the thing, launching the thing, and then they're not cultivating the community inside of what they built. So pacing yourself is really important. Staying healthy, staying physically fit, all these things are really important. And being organized, having a space to create from that feels like a sanctuary, that you feel inspired when you step into it. It could be a corner of a bedroom. It could be a separate room in your house. It could be a tiny home out in your yard. Whatever it is, like having some form of creative space that you can step into when it's time to go to work. Today, obviously, I'm in my kid's bedroom, which is his creative space. He's renting it out to me at a good price at $3 per day. So pretty stoked for that. So yeah, I was just this week has been a lot of taking the next steps with Magic Kids. We've had some massive meetings with potential sponsors that when those details come through, I'll happily share. But it's kind of, as we've been going through these negotiations and these conversations, it's kind of shown me of like, oh shit, like I've been thinking for my entire entrepreneurial life, like I'm going to build something that's big. And now we're stepping into, relationships that could potentially help this go really big. And it's bringing up all the things of like, wow, like, is it finally coming to that arrival point? And by arrival point, I mean like the beginning of the beginning. And like everything up till here was kind of the preparatory stuff to be able to climb the next mountain. And what I've found is that each mountain I set out to climb over the last 18 years, it doesn't actually necessarily get easier, because my talents expand, my vision expands, my capabilities to manage and to create expands. And so the mountains don't actually get easier, they're kind of get steeper. And so as we're working with the Harmon brothers, one of the biggest comedy ads agencies in the world, we're paying them quite a bit of money to consult for us, which was a big investment of faith in who they are and what I've seen them do for other companies. As we negotiate these different sponsorship deals, as you know, building this Magic Kids app and all of these like bigger pillars that are larger investments that require more resources, more people, that kind of force me to put our actions where our mouth is with what I've been trying to speak to the world about what Magic Kids is. And it's just a really interesting thought experiment to be going through it. And whether you're building your first suite of online products or your 15th suite of online products, is like the journey doesn't necessarily get easier. You just become more skilled and capable of managing all of the details and also executing on the vision. And so round one, just don't seek perfection, whatever you do, what you're doing. It's more important to create the minimal viable product that you can start sharing in the easiest form possible, whether it's newsletter, whether it's articles, whether it's audio, that you can start sharing in the easiest way possible, because this is something you're going to be doing for a long time. You can refine, you can improve. It goes back to the ABCs of creating. Always be creating, because if you're always creating, you're always improving. If you're always improving, the work's just going to keep getting better. The people are going to keep paying attention. And that's the beauty of what we get to do on the internet, that it's not like we are printing out 10,000 physical products. We're building these digital assets, and those digital assets we can always improve. You know, you can, for your meditation library, you can start with no music. If music is holding you back, then just release them without music to start. And then you can add music later, because you can always keep adding layers to what you're doing. You can always keep improving. So again, just remembering for all of us that we're hiking through a mountain range. We're on one mountain right now. Enjoy the views as you go. Understand that when we climb a mountain, we're going to have to exert quite a lot of energy in order to get to the top. And so just do what you can to enjoy the journey, do what you can to learn, to grow, to take in the views, to enjoy the crew of people that you are hiking with. And don't be afraid to ask for specific help when you feel stuck, because it's a dangerous world up in these mountains, and you need to make sure that you're asking for help so that you don't get buried under the avalanche of emotion, procrastination, and allow yourself to be swept away. So with that, my question for everybody today is, what support do you need to climb your mountain that would help get you to the top quicker, easier, and better than the way that you're going right now? How can we support you with creating some traction today?